What's going on, folks? Welcome to the latest edition of Nintendo Enthusiast Week in Review. It is I, Shawn. Very interesting week in the world of Nintendo. So without any further ado, let's jump into this past week's news. Obviously, the biggest news of the past week is that Minecraft is finally confirmed for the Wii U. And although it won't have any gamepad inventory management, which is stupid as hell, it will have voice chat and lobbies and all that sort of stuff, so it's going to be a good port of the game. Is it a little too late? Maybe. Nintendo did say that they're going to be working with Mojang to add exclusive content to the game, so that could be huge because it's really interesting to see Nintendo properties in Minecraft. You see it a lot in hacks and stuff, but we've never seen any official stuff. So Nintendo could really do something special with this and make this version of the game stand out. What's even more interesting is that Microsoft is actually publishing the title both in Europe and Japan for Nintendo. Microsoft publishing a Nintendo game. It's a little weird, don't you think? It's pretty interesting though, especially considering that there's another Microsoft and Nintendo thing kind of been talked about as well, which we'll get into a little bit later in the episode. But first, let me know what you think about Minecraft. Do you plan on picking it up? I'm not a big Minecraft fan, but I do appreciate, what the game means to gaming and how big of a phenomenon it is. So let me know in the comments below. Like I said, the Microsoft and Nintendo connection doesn't really end at Minecraft. Someone reached out to Microsoft on Twitter and said, hey, could we have Rare Replay on the Wii U? Which I think would be awesome considering most of those games gain their popularity on the Nintendo platform. And Microsoft actually seems cool with this idea. They said ask Rare, reach out to Rare via Twitter and Nintendo of America and make this a possibility. And that's pretty interesting. It's very interesting to see Microsoft and Nintendo kind of working together on some projects, Microsoft being cool with Nintendo, Nintendo being cool with Microsoft, obviously because there's money to be made, and I think it means something bigger in the grand scheme of things, potentially, because you have Sony, which is so far ahead out in the lead that, Nintendo and Microsoft are both at a disadvantage if they want to win the console wars. So why not kind of work together? I mean, there's lots of stuff that Microsoft does that is pretty interesting, and we know there's tons of Nintendo stuff that's great. So why not kind of combine forces and help each other out from time to time? I don't know, do you think the partnership would be worthwhile? Let me know in the comments below.
This week's Retro Game of the Week is brought to you by NewWaveTraders.com. For all your retro gaming and toy needs, be sure to visit NewWaveTraders.com.
This week's Retro Game of the Week is a fun beat 'em up on the NES that's still pretty cheap. Batman Returns on the NES. It's a fun game. You play as Batman and take scenes from the movie Batman Returns, done by Tim Burton. And I'm a huge Tim Burton fan, so I really enjoyed this game. The music is great, the character models are great, the graphics are really good, and it's an underappreciated classic on the NES, I feel. Like I said, it's pretty cheap, so pick up this game for the holidays and you'll enjoy it. In other news, Devil's Third has finally come out in North America, and it's being sent out to die. Let's call a spade a spade. It's kind of bad, The press didn't get any review copies, so I couldn't handle the review for the game. I actually can't find the game within a 100-mile radius of where I've lived. I've looked at different places. It's just, I don't know, it's not looking too good for Devil's Third. I do still plan on picking up the game, of course. I do want to play the game, but we have a review up on the site done by someone in Europe that writes for the site occasionally, and he didn't give it that great of a score, said there was, problems with it, frame rate issues, and it's just not that great of a game. I still kind of hope that it's fun at least. I never saw the game to be a masterpiece, especially once it released in Europe, but a solid 6-7 sort of range is definitely possible. I am still interested in playing the game, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem like Nintendo of America has a lot of faith in it, which is unfortunate because it could have been a really cool game. If you've picked up Devil's Third and you've been playing it, let me know, because I really want to get some feedback on it. I'm really interested to see how the game is in your eyes. And finally, some NPD numbers came out, and while Nintendo was pretty mum on the situation, no real hardcore numbers were given. One statistic was given that 11 million amiibo sold. 11 million. Why? Why? I mean, amiibo are cool, don't get me wrong, but I want to see more functionality from them. I want to see more from them. I want to see cool game stuff that's only available with Amiibo, and I think we will see that. I honestly feel that maybe that's how this was intended in the first place, but the collection aspect of it grew so much that Nintendo kind of delayed that aspect of it. I'm not against it. I mean, I think, a lot of these characters are pretty cool looking. I mean, that's a good looking figure right there. But I want to see more. I don't want to see just, you know, collection aspect. I want to see gameplay elements. I want to see adding to my game, you know, not like DLC, but sort of additional content that is only available on an amiibo, which I guess essentially would be DLC and locked content. So I don't know, it's kind of a catch-22. But, you know, shout out to Nintendo for making these amiibo work. Everyone seems to love them and, you know, keep buying them. And that's gonna do it for this week's show. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe if you haven't, leave me a comment down below, talk to me about things. I try to get back to every single one of your comments. I am pretty good at that. That's one of the things I am good at. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Later.